What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Manders Mindset. My name's Corey Silveira, and I am guest hosting on this week's episode. And on the other side of the mic, I have the incredible, unstoppable, breathing goddess herself, Amanda Russo. Amanda, how are you today?
I am good, Corey. Thank you. How
You're
are you?
I am not bad. Not bad. Great weekend. A lot of festivities, but keep going.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And we are here today because I'm going to talk to y'all about my Bali experience, and I didn't want to just talk on my ass. So Muscle Man is here to chat with me and ask me some questions. I'm not sure what he's going to say, but we're going to get
I'm not sure what I'm going
to say. We're going to get into it, and yeah.
All right. So Bali. So through my understanding, it was very quick. It was a very quick decision you made. So I'm sure all of your listeners and anyone who doesn't know already, how did this trip even happen? Like, how did it come across your radar? How did you get everything set up so fucking fast?
So it wasn't crazy fast, but it was pretty fast. I found out about the opportunity, and I actually was there about 10 days later. So yeah, it was.
And you say that's not very fast?
Well, it was almost 2 weeks. It was basically 2 weeks later.
Okay.
If you're meant to do something, he'll make it work. If you want something bad enough and you're meant to do it, it'll happen. Like there's a will, there's a way. Absolutely. So I had found out. So I actually knew about this retreat that was happening, that was being hosted by a woman who also got certified in breathwork detox like I did. And I've done virtual breathwork sessions with her. So I know her, never met her in person, but I knew about this retreat that she was hosting in Bali, found out about it back in March. Now, I was unemployed at the time, and I really thought I was still going to make it work then. I was not able to make it work. Yeah. I told her this, and I was like, well, listen, mark my words, there will be a day that you and I are in Bali together. And said to the host, I was like, we might not have any of the other women with us, but you know what? You and I are going to be in Bali together someday. It might not be this May, but mark my words. And
we're going together.
And time just passed, whatever. Then, actually, the woman who introduced me to Breathwork Detox, Megan Escobar, huge shout out to her. She posted on her Facebook story a screenshot of this, like, flyer, I guess you could call it, of this retreat that the other Megan was hosting.
Yeah. And
her caption was gifting this. And now I didn't know, one, what this meant. Two, like, what? What are you gifting?
Right. Yeah.
And now I normally wouldn't have even responded to something like this, but me and this Meg girl were super close. Her and I, we go to yoga together. We talk pretty regularly. Like, we're good friends. Okay. So I wasn't even thinking I'm responding to this with the intention of her gifting this to me. I was kind of more so curious, like, what the fuck does this mean? So I literally said, yo, what do you mean you're gifting this? What are you gifting? And she goes, unfortunately, I can't go. And I know it's so last minute. I can't expect a refund from Meg. And she's like, so you just have to pay for the airfare. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, girl, if you're able to go, like, you should take me up on this. And I'm sitting at work and I'm like, what the fuck am I reading right now? What the fuck am I actually reading right now?
I know it was going through your mind. You're like, I'm going to Bali right now.
And so I said to her, I was like, listen, I don't know if you have a bunch of other people interested in this. Like, if you do, like, I'm not sure I can 100% make this work. This retreat starts in like less than 2 weeks. So like, if you've got somebody that can book a flight today, give them this ticket because I got to figure some shit out. And she's like, I actually haven't heard from anybody. Nobody's responded to me but you. And I was like, oh God, okay. And then she starts sending me all these messages about how she would be so grateful if it was me she got to give this trip to. And I'm just like,
oh, no way.
For fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, Meg. Okay, Meg. So now even more so, not that I didn't want to go, but even more so, I'm like, I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay. So fast forward a little bit. I didn't have the money right away for said plane ticket. So I'm anticipating that I'm going to go, but I'm waiting. I got to wait to book this ticket until like pretty kind of fucking last minute, to be straight up. I wouldn't have the money until then. So it was one of those that it's like, okay, I think I'm going. Everybody close to me in my life, like on the edge of their fucking seats leading up to this to find out if I would actually make this work. Like you knew you were loop on this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a fitness coach, and it was so funny because once I finally booked the ticket, I sent her a message and I was like, so exciting update. And she was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what you were going to say, but I'm so excited to hear. Because it was wild. I did a birth chart reading with a woman named Rachel, and that really helped me even mentally realize that like I definitely needed to make this work, needed to figure out the logistics and just make this work, because she told me a few things based on my birth chart. One, I need to have more fun. I'm not having enough fun in my life.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, and she's like, what do you do for fun? And I was like, I podcast. And she's like, what else? And I was like, I go to the gym. Yeah, right? And but like I couldn't name much. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And
but like things like that is fun to you, you know what I mean? Like working out and podcasting, that's like your version of entertainment, you know what I mean?
No, it is, but at the same time, like I haven't done anything else, anything out of the ordinary that's fun per se in a long time.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Even back in January, I went to the podcasting event, but like, yes, it was fun, but it was more even educational per se.
Right.
It wasn't just like, yeah, they had a DJ 2 different nights, but it wasn't, I was learning a lot. I was taking notes. I was, you know what I'm saying? I
kind of felt like work almost, like a work retreat, like a work trip almost.
A little bit. Yeah. So it was fun to travel, and it was nice to get away, but it wasn't the same as either a retreat or a vacation. So like I hadn't done anything. And so I even said to her, I was like, so if I received like an opportunity to do something really fun, she was like, your birth chart is telling you should do it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Then my birth chart also had mentioned that one of my main purposes here on Earth is to learn how to accept help and love while I'm here, because I don't really do that. And now, yeah, even part of me when I found out about this was like, there could be somebody else that should be taking this. Why should I take this? Right. You know, maybe.
Yeah.
And I even mentioned that to the woman who I did the birth chart reading with, Rachel Veritimos, and she was like, is there anybody else who might take this? And I was like, as of right now, no. And she's like, you know, so it might go to no one if you don't go. And I just paused for a second because I was like, oh. And then she asked me, she was like, the woman who was gifting this ticket, is there any chance she's going to actually go? And then I asked Meg, and she's like, I can't. And I was like, so I had told Rachel, I was like, no, she's not going. She goes, so it might be you or no one.
Or no one, or it goes to waste.
I was like, well, and she's like, well, and I'm like, okay. So I've got all these different fucking voices in my head that are kind of planting these seeds that like, I need to go to Bali. I need to figure it out. I need to go to Bali.
Yeah.
I did a podcast with Brett Lockett around this time as well.
Yep.
And I told him about the opportunity. And now he knows these women as well because he's certified in breathwork too. And he had asked, what do you want to experience in your life?
Right.
In the grand scheme of things, when you're 70, even if it's not on your deathbed, when you're much older, what's going to make you smile and shed a tear that you had such a meaningful life? And I want to see more of the world. Like, I want to travel. I want to see what the world has. And right now, I'm young, I'm single, I don't have kids. I've got the ability to pick up and leave more easier than I might at some point in my life, you know? And I don't know, it was just another, like, it just made me think more. Now,
it's like another aha moment.
Yes. Yes, I love that phrase.
Yeah. Sounds like you had a few aha moments throughout the whole like 10 or 12 day span of deciding on whether you're actually going or not. It's like, well, you talked to Rachel, talked to Brett, talked to Meg, and each one of them had their own like intake or outtake on what you should do, which they all led to you should go to Bali, but all from different perspectives as to why.
Basically, yes. Yes. Then my interesting self, because everybody was like, you shouldn't wait to book the ticket. I'm like, oh, there's only so much I can do. Then I got in my head because I really started thinking, how can I book the ticket sooner? I could book a one-way ticket. Those are cheaper. If I book a one-way ticket, I'll figure it out once I get there. Okay. I didn't end up doing this, y'all. And now that's a good thing.
Thank God.
Corey, now there's a way to make it work. I just don't fully still understand it. But I would have needed to have at least a ticket booked back somewhere. I don't know where exactly. Maybe somewhere within the States. Yeah. But you can't just, because they've got to know that like you're intending to come back at some point. There is a way to do it, but it's more complicated. Anyway, this was my initial plan. And Brett's like, Manders, what the fuck? You've never been out of the country. Now you're going to buy a one-way ticket out of the country? I'm like, listen.
And not
it's
back.
Fine. It's fine. He's like, no, it's not. And then when you can't get back, I'm like, listen, I'll figure it out. Like, I'll get to the next, like, whatever. And now he was out of the country at the time. And he's like, Amanda, it's not that simple. And he's like, he was trying to explain something to me. And I'm like, listen, no. I've got money to buy a one-way ticket right here, right now, to the airport that I need to go to. Fun fact, I didn't even know if that was the right airport at first. And Brett's like, did you confirm? And I'm like, I'm going to Bali. I just looked up flights. I typed in Bali, B-A-L-I. And the first one that popped up, but 2 did pop up. And he's like, yo, you got to check with Meg. Make sure you're going to the right fucking place. And he's like, it's she's the person you should be talking to before you book a one-way ticket or before you book a round trip. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, speak to her. She's like, Manders, you can't book a one-way. And I was like, why? And she's like, because I'd have to have at least the one-way scheduled somewhere with closer, like over, like, I don't know exactly where. And she's like, because are you planning on buying another one-way before you get on the flight? And I was like, no. And then apparently she knew some woman who did this, and she ran into an issue. Now, they told her, you need to have another flight. So she had to book another flight while she was on the plane. And Meg was like, Manders, you're not trying to have to deal with booking another flight while you're on the plane going to Bali. And I'm like, okay, great. Okay, can't book a one-way. So then I still have it in my head. I'm going to get paid on Friday. That's when I'm going to book it. Now, I need to leave Wednesday. I can't book it until at least Friday. So that doesn't even give me a full week.
Nope. Like 5 days.
Yeah. So I'm telling everybody this is my plan. As long as things work out, like I'm going to get my paycheck. The tickets don't go up too much. I'm booking this ticket on Friday. Everybody's like, you wait until Friday? Well, what do you expect?
What the hell?
Can't book it one. But says to me, let me buy you the ticket. He says, Amanda, you're going to pay double. He's like, okay. He goes, well, don't say I didn't offer to try to help you. That was my first test to accept fucking help. It didn't accept the help. Okay. Cool.
You failed.
Wait. What did you say?
I said you failed at accepting help. Your first test.
Yes. Yes, I did. I'm waiting it out. And now, of course, this was a Monday, and I'm thinking, a Monday, it's not going to be that much come Friday. Well, also, granted, it's only like 5 days, but I'm cutting it down to the wire as it is with when I'm planning on leaving. Okay. Yep. Well, I'm checking these prices on all the sites, all the apps every day. And now, of course, I'm watching it slowly go up, and I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. Great. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's going to work out. I'm going to Bali. And, I reached to the point that it had gone up. It had gone up quite a bit. And I even said to myself, you know what? If I can only buy it one way, I don't give a fuck. I am going to fucking Bali, and I will figure the rest fucking out. You don't care.
Yeah.
Like, here's the deal. You know what? What am I coming back? Here you go. Take the apartment. I'll leave my car.
Start fresh.
I'm done. That was literally where I was at. Then one of my best friends, he didn't help the situation, sent me this link in this article about how, like, the cost of living in Bali. It's so much cheaper. Oh, yeah. You could live for like $1,000 with like a housekeeper and everything. And I'm like, yo.
Right.
Okay. I could do that. I could work at one of these resorts.
A lot better than
have a housekeeper, not even. I could be chilling. I'm just saying. Anyways, this is where my head was at. Okay, fast forward. Friday rolls around. By the time my pay goes in, I look at what the ticket prices are, and I don't have enough money to buy the ticket. And now I'm faced with this dilemma of, okay, do I maybe buy a one-way ticket and not even know what the hell is going to happen to me by buying a one-way ticket? Or do I try to find a way to be able to buy a round-trip fucking ticket? So right now, I don't have a lot of time either. So I'm like, I need this money, like, quick.
Today.
Quick.
Yeah.
Basically. I wasn't far behind on what I needed to be able to afford the ticket, probably about $200 or so. But yeah, it's still enough. And now it was one of those things as well that I was talking to the retreat host, and she was like, you don't even have anybody you can borrow this from. And I'm like, here's the thing. I'm not telling majority of people.
Yep. So
realistically, no. My plan is saying, by the way, I'm going to Bali. That's my plan. I'm not, so I can't ask for a loan because nobody knows. So I don't have anybody to ask. So she's like, Amanda, you should tell your mom. I'm like, my mom would help me, but I'm not telling her. She's like, Amanda, you should talk to her.
I was on that train.
I'm like, thank you, Corey.
Welcome.
And I was like, she's gonna worry. So I need to let her down like more easily. Mom, whenever you hear this, I had well-intended meaning. Now, I didn't want to worry her extra, especially if I didn't have to.
Yeah. Understandable.
Like, she started sending me all these different random things about Bali when she found out I was going. Now, so I had told you, but I had told Rachel, the two Megs knew, my best friend in the whole world, Brad knew, And now I told him my situation, and he was like, Manders, you're going to not go to Bali. And I was like, Brad, I understand it's not a lot of money, but what am I supposed to do? Now, timing is literally everything. So I'm checking my bank account because I'm literally manifesting like a fucking miracle that I'm going to get $200 from where I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. But I'm
From
just
bank.
like envisioning my bank account having more money. And I've learned a lot about manifestation, y'all. That's another conversation. But I'm literally just envisioning me opening this app and like seeing more money. And I'm like, it's going to happen. So I'm checking this like constantly.
Yeah.
Now, I see at one point on the same Friday, it's pending, but I see my tax return going in there. And now it's more than $200. So I'm like, okay, as long as it doesn't go up too much more, I can use this tax return.
Yep.
Now, I tell the host Meg this, and she asked me, you don't have anyone who can give it to you until your tax return processes. Because what if, like, you don't know how much it's going up? I'm like, listen.
Right.
Again, I'm not the type to ask for help. I just never have been. It's not my thing. I've had help in so many different areas of my life since I was a kid, always thrown back in my face, sometimes indirectly. But because of it, I just tend to be the type of person, even more so, who tries to be even more self-reliant because of that. That being said, I tried selling things, got me posting on Facebook Marketplace, did not sell a single thing, but I attempted to try to make some money. I was telling my best friend, here's the deal. I think I'm going to bite the bullet and buy a one-way ticket. It's funny because the main reason I was telling him was because anything I decide to do, whether it's good, bad, in between, Brad's always the first person or one of the first few people I tell. And if I get myself in the shitter, I know he's going to know how I can fix it and get out of it. So that's why I'm like, okay, so if I only tell one person that I'm buying a one-way ticket, it's obviously got to be my best friend, Brad, because he's going to make sure I'm good once I don't know how or when I'm coming back. So that's why that was in my head. Got to tell Brad. And he was like, Amanda, don't be stubborn. Yeah. And he's like, it's only $200. He's like, listen, he goes, I'm not going to argue with you, but you just say the word and the money will be in your Venmo. And I was like, Brad, I'm not taking this money from you.
Yeah.
And he was like, Amanda, if roles were reversed and I needed $200 to be able to go to Bali, you'd give me $200 to go to Bali. And I sat and thought to myself, that is true. I would do that for Brad in a heartbeat. And I said to myself, Amanda, you're going to kick yourself years from now if you don't go to Bali because you were $200 short for a plane ticket. And so I put my ego aside and I sent Brad a text, and it was hours later because I'm stubborn.
Yep. And I know you fought yourself the whole time. Should I send this text or should I not send this text?
I did. But then I sent him a message and I was like, look, I know it's been a while since I sent you a message, but if you're still willing to help me out, I would really appreciate it. And I will absolutely pay you back. My tax return is coming in. I can send it to you at the latest Monday. And he was like, Amanda, it's in your account. He's like, don't worry about paying me back before you go to Bali. He's like, use the tax return money in Bali. I wouldn't want you to miss out on this.
Nice.
Made my fucking day.
Nice. That's awesome.
He gave me the money, and shout out to Brad because I'm super appreciative of him for that. So I booked the ticket, and then I started telling some people that like, oh, I'm going to Bali. Whatever. Not a lot of people, very few. I started reaching out to people that had podcasts scheduled with me, people that had breathwork sessions scheduled with me because I was like, I'm going to be gone for a little bit. I need to cancel everything, even if it's virtual, because I don't know the deal Wi-Fi wise. I chose to pay for what they called a travel pass when I booked the flight. Had no idea what that meant. So I canceled everything. Booked this Friday, late afternoon, was leaving early Wednesday. And now I said, okay, there's a few things I got to do before. One, we're doing a photo shoot in Bali. So I got to look my best. Naturally, I'm like, I got to reach out to my hairdresser. So I send her a message. I'm like, hey, you happen to have an appointment for cut and color between like now and Monday. And she's like, yeah, I can actually do it tomorrow at 12. I'm like, perfect. I tell her what I'm doing. And she's like, Amanda, you are going to Bali? She's like, are you flying with anybody? And I was like, no. And now I was also spending 2 days in Bali before this. And she's like, Amanda, this is crazy. You get, oh my God, all super worried. And I'm like, listen, Denise, it's fine. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be great. And then she's like, okay, well, you got to keep your Facebook updated so I can stay on doing that. If you want to know something, send me a private message because we ain't telling the Facebook. We keeping this on the DL. The Instagram stories, that's it. It's in the DL. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to be so worried. And now it's also funny because my hairdresser knows my mom as well. She's like, she's going to shit. I'm like, listen, I'm going to go. I'm going to see you. I'm going to tell her in person. It'll be good. So that's my plan. Saturday, I'm going to tell her. Now, I was scared shitless to tell her because I'm like, she's going to think I'm insane. I don't have a whole lot planned. It's Saturday. My job doesn't know I'm leaving the country on Wednesday. I don't have a ride to the airport as of yet. I don't even know where I'm staying the night. I'm not with the retreat. Like, I don't have a lot of information. So I'm a little nervous to tell my mother this because I'm thinking she's going to be like, Amanda, what the fuck? Which she's
going to be like, where are you staying? How are you getting there? How you get into the resort when you get there? And you didn't have any answers for her.
Well, so I thought I was going to do good. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start off the conversation light. And I'm not going to tell her, but I'm going to ease into it. Yeah. So I say, so we're in the car. I don't remember where we were driving. We were driving somewhere. And I say to her, so I'm next week. And she goes, did you take time off work for that? And I was like, I haven't told work yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Working to go on a retreat. And I was like, yeah, and she goes, how long of a retreat is it? And I was like, it's about 10 days. So that's probably at least 11 days you're taking off work. I was like, it's a little more than 11, but it's okay. It's cool. And my mom asked me, what kind of retreat is this? And I was like, it's a goddess retreat. A goddess retreat. Are you kidding me? I'm the breathing goddess. I have got to go to this. Like, it's like meant for me. It's designed for me. It was named after me. Now I'm saying this, and she's like, oh my God. And she even gave me one of those. And she goes, now where is this? And I was like, oh boy. Oh boy. And so I'm like, Bali. And she goes, where the hell even is Bali? Indonesia? And she was like, Indonesia? Yeah. And she goes, Amanda, that's another country. And I'm like, I know. And she goes, oh my God. And I'm like, you're reacting a lot better than I expect. Yeah. And she was like, I saw the money come out from Japan Airlines. And I was like, listen, I told you, because you're my emergency contact. And at least you know that, like, I'm in Bali.
Right. So she doesn't think it's like a scam or something.
Exactly. And naturally, she had so many questions. She's like, oh, of course. How are you getting to the airport? And I'm like, I don't know yet. And she's like, how are you getting back from Bali? And I was like, I don't know yet. And what I did that one smart, I did not tell her beforehand. She's not going to like this, but it's fine. I did not tell her beforehand that I was staying additional nights before and after, not with the retreat. And I'm like, she's going to be way too scared if she knows that.
Oh, yeah.
I think she knows it.
Well, she'll know it now.
Does. Yeah. So.
Well, shout out to your mom as well for not fucking killing you when you told her you were flying across the world.
Corey, would you kill your son if he told you he was? No. You would be like, I am so proud of experiencing light.
No, that's not what I would say. Not a million years.
What would you say?
What if you told me you were going to Bali?
If your son, when your son's older, he told you he was going to Bali, what would you say to that?
I'd be like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Why?
Like, no, you're not.
Why? Why would you say that to him?
Because it would, I don't know, because it would, like, I would be so anxious for him. I was anxious for you when you were like, I'm going to Bali in 10 days. I was anxious for you. I can only imagine how anxious I would be if my son was like, hey, I'm going to Bali in 10 days and I didn't tell work and I don't have a ride there and I don't know where I'm staying and I don't know how I'm getting back and I knew where
I was staying. I told him Soulshine Bali.
Okay.
I told him Soulshine Bali. And
okay.
Then I left. I found a friend and find a friend. One of my friends. I asked.
I told a friend and they brought me.
I told one of my friends the situation, and he agreed to bring me to the airport.
Yep.
He was kind of scared shitless for me, and he's someone who does kind of some more wild shit. So not gonna lie, I didn't expect him to be as alone.
Yeah,
but he was. So there's that.
I mean, it was alarming when you told me that you didn't really know a lot of information. I was like,
I knew plenty of information.
No, you didn't. Because I asked you, I was like, where are you staying? You're like, I don't know what the name of the resort is. And I'm like, what?
I found out. I didn't know the first day, Corey. I found out.
You found out.
When did I find
3 days
out?
before you left. Saturday, before you told your mom.
Okay, exactly. That's right. I found out on Saturday. I didn't need to know before then.
You didn't want to know? I mean, you planned the trip in 10 days. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you did give yourself plenty of time to find things. Yeah, I can't even plan a trip for like 2 months from now. It's got to be longer than that, let alone 2 weeks. Because, I don't know, I'm very, like, planned out like that. I'm not a drop everything and leave kind of person, you know?
Okay.
Too much anxiety.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, when things aren't, like, planned out.
Spontaneity helps with growth. Corey.
Yeah, but anyway, this isn't about me. This is about Bali, so we're gonna keep... Yeah, if you're only listening, you should have seen that crazy fucking eye roll I just got.
Making conversation, dialogue, but where were we?
Banter. Back and forth. All right, so we established how this trip came to fruition. And so now you get to the airport, you're in Bali, you're chilling. How has this retreat impacted you mentally, physically, spiritually? Any of those, all three of those? Like, how has it just like impacted you as overall?
No, you said mentally, spiritually, and physically?
Yeah.
I would say mentally, I'm much calmer. I look at things very differently. Like basically everything, honestly.
Okay. Anything specific that you noticed, or
the way I respond to things when I'm frustrated, when something doesn't go according to my plan or how I thought it was going to go. It also changed me mentally in terms of truly realizing the power of my own mind and my own thoughts.
That's awesome.
Because there were different times when I was alone with no connection to my phone. I had nothing else with me, like no distractions, not even a water bottle at times. So like it's me, myself, and I. And there were different times I got lost, and that really helped me transform what I was thinking. That transformed me mentally a lot.
Nice.
And I put myself through a different, I want to call them tests, mental resilient type tests, because even now, for example, I got lost twice very early on.
Yeah. Before
I even met up with the retreat. But once I was with the retreat, we were at this beautiful resort called Soulshine Bali. I loved it. Couldn't recommend it enough. But it was a gym that wasn't too far away, but I didn't have, even though I paid for this travel plan, my phone didn't work whenever I wasn't connected to Wi-Fi. So I couldn't GPS. So that's how I ended up getting lost. Now, I was kind of frustrated for a few days about not working out, because I normally work out mornings in a row. And now even if I'm not working out, like physically lifting in the morning, I'm still moving. Like I'll go on like an hour walk in the morning. I'm a strong believer in the morning movement. And so the walks was what I was doing when I wasn't going to the gym. I was just, waking up super early like I do, even without an alarm. I'm up by like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So nothing is open and no one is around. There's a thing called Bali time, and nobody has a sense for time. Nobody has a sense for time. The earliest thing, anything I could find, even your breakfast or your coffee, might open is 7 a.m.
Oh my God.
The earliest. Yeah. So you got me at 5 o'clock chilling for 2 hours. So naturally I'm just walking around the resort, because also I'm not leaving the resort because I'm a little worried about getting lost again. So as I was saying, I put myself through a little bit of a test, because I was kind of frustrated by just walking in the morning, because I'm like, okay, it's been 3 days now. I haven't been to the gym. Like I'm ready to some weights. Yep. Not something that I have to do, but it's something I enjoy doing. It even helps me mentally. So like I'm getting what I want to call like gym anger. Like people get hangry, like too many days not going to the gym, not lifting. Like
you're getting jangry.
Yes, I am. So by like day 3, I'd say to myself, let's test the waters and I'm going to walk myself. Worst case scenario, I get fucking lost. I'll figure it out. Yeah. We had one driver that was our driver pretty frequently from the resort. He spoke decent English. So one of the times he was driving us around, I was like, how do I say this in Balinese? How do I say this? How do I say this? One of my questions was, I am lost. Like, help me, I'm lost. So now I had like a video recording of this. So I'm like, you know what? I've got my video recording of this guy saying that I'm lost. And I'm going to play this for some random person I find on the street. And I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. And I found my way there. So that showed me, like, I've got to witness my mental toughness, being able, because it wasn't physically hard to actually walk there. Like, it wasn't a challenging walk per se. Right. Probably an 18-minute walk. But it was more so the anxiety and the fear I had going into it. Like, fuck, it's kind of dark out because it's early morning. Fuck, right. I'm by myself again. Like, what if I can't find my way? And
what if I get kicked?
You know, when I got lost, that actually didn't cross my head.
It didn't.
No, I just assumed everybody was so nice.
Never assume. You never assume.
Corey, I did. That didn't cross my mind. Okay, well.
Well, I mean, I always think darker than you anyway, so.
And I'm very naive. I will say that. I tend to be kind of naive. I won't even say kind of. I tend to be naive. Straight up.
Sometimes.
You think?
Sometimes. Not all the time.
Thank you. Thank you for that. It was really a test of like my mental toughness, showing myself that, you know what, yo, I can take myself, me, myself, and I in my fucking gym outfit, in my sneakers, with my water bottle, and walk my ass to the gym and get myself back.
Fucking nice.
And then I did it for 3 days until my debit card got eaten at the gym. Then I didn't go back after that. Yeah.
Did you have to pay every time you went?
Yes. So they had what they offered. They offered a week pass in my, again, naive. I'm not going to use a full week's worth. It's not even a full week left that I'm at this location. Went 2 more days. So it really would have made more sense for me to buy a week's pass, but I bought a day pass each day. Yeah.
It was probably cheaper to do the week pass, right?
It was.
That's okay. Now you know for next time.
What other questions you got for me up your sleeve?
Well, so how else has it impacted you? So you covered mentally. Did it impact you in any other way, or?
Oh, I didn't keep going.
No, we kind of off tracked on that one.
Okay. So it impacted me spiritually because I spent a lot of time just being able to reflect. Reflect on my life, reflect on decisions, habits, behaviors, thoughts, just reflect. Because even like I mentioned, there were a lot of instances of no phone service. So it's not like I'm doing much else. Even the first day, my naive ass did a plane promotion, super nice man, shout out to him. But he was like, you need to get some Indonesian cash. I'm like, I don't need that right now. I'll get that at some point. Well, of course. When I was lost the first time, I was in this downtown area and a lot of the shops were like outside type shops. Half of them didn't accept me. So then I ended up, when I'm lost, got no food, got no drink. So it's just me, myself, and that. So spiritually, it really gave me that ability to connect with myself, and even then, I was at a resort, it was a hotel type thing prior to going to the resort with the retreat. And now I was impacted in all these different ways, even outside of the retreat, because even spiritually, I spent time by myself before and after the retreat. So it gave me more ability to reflect, more ability to just go inward. And I did breath work in Bali, which was wild, super cool. I did that outside.
Yeah.
And then we did one session at the retreat as well. And just, it really gave me time to go inward and figure out what's working, what's not working. And the amount of downloads I got were a lot. Got a lot of them. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. A lot of you time, especially out when there's no, like you said, no distraction. Around here, it's fucking crazy all the time. And there's so many things that can distract you when you're in another country. You literally can't talk to anybody. So,
and even down to the small things, even at times the water. Fun fact, you can't drink the regular water in Bali. I found that one out, and but they sell bottled water. But it's one of those that at times I had nothing. You got no distraction. You don't got the distraction of your drink, of your phone, of your this, of your... Ain't got shit.
The phone is huge.
I got me, myself,
that's a huge
in my butt.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I know it is. Then even more so, okay, there's certain things you can do on your phone if you're not connected. I'm not using my phone just for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to preserve any little bit of battery that I actually have. Because I also found out that there's a different even outlet plug. Apparently, a lot of people know this. Amanda didn't fucking know this. And thank you. It is not common knowledge. But each resort was super kind and gave me this little adapter thing. But I didn't have that right away. So, yeah. And, most people...
No, I was just going to say, you were probably what the fuck? How am I going to charge my stuff?
Yes. At the first place, by myself, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my... I don't even know how I'm going to meet up and speak a lot of English. I'm like, oh my God. But they have a WhatsApp number. So I texted the front desk and I'm multiple blocks. I had multiple things. I'm like, I am trying everything and this is not working. And the woman came and she was like, oh, and she like handed me this thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? And she's like, just plug it in, and it works. So you plug this weird ass block thing, and there's a different type of outlet. Yep. I had no idea. I didn't. Everything happened so fast too. I didn't even look up Bali, like even internet, on social media, on anything. Like I didn't Google it, not anywhere. So you
were just like, I'm going. I'm going in blind.
I looked up, once I found out the name of the resort for the retreat, I looked that up. But I would say that.
Okay. Hey, that's something. That's not nothing.
But I didn't know even about the water. I found that out, and I thought she was just chalking out her ass, because now my mom's fucking head started worrying as I told her, okay, I'm going back in 4 days. She gives me a hug. She's like, oh my God. And I'm like, listen, it's great. She's sending me all these different texts. You need a passport to go to Bali. I'm like, Mom, I have a passport. We went to Jamaica 10 years ago. My passport's still good. We're good. Then she goes, you can't drink the water. I'm like, they say not to even use it to brush your teeth. I'm like, relax. Found out once I got Bali, do not use the water. Most upset stomach. I experienced it firsthand because I'm stubborn. Yeah. So do your research if you're going somewhere, even a little. I didn't realize how out there that sounded until I told one of the women on the retreat. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? She's like, you didn't see that when you looked it up? Yeah. And I was like, my mom mentioned that, but I just thought she was crazy. And she's like, no, it's a thing. Like the stomach that you get from like the food, the water, the food, that depending on if it's cooked with too much water. I was like, shit. Like I've been like,
it's like that in a few
shit in my brains out just again. What?
Yeah. As in, it's like that in a few other countries too. Like you can't use the water at all in like South American countries and shit.
They told me this in Jamaica, and I didn't listen back then either. I was in fucking high school at the time, but I didn't listen then either. And I shit my mouth too. Listen, if I need
and here you are 10 years later.
Something's changed, not everything changes. Another way I changed spiritually in terms of at the retreat was we attended a sound healing, and it changed my life. And now, if you've never attended a sound healing, it's basically these bowls that are to a certain height and are designed to make the body just in a euphoric state. And it was a big spiritual way for me.
Okay.
The physical ways I changed, what I physically do, even to respond to even what I physically do in my life, not even to respond to anything.
Oh, wow.
I've started changing like some of how I start my day and what I do throughout my day. Now we did a lot of embodiment practices and embodiment movements, and it's like embodiment dancing. And this woman who came and we did this with her, she like even showed us like the power of shaking, and now like actually shaking your whole body. So like we're standing up, shaking our arms, our feet, like even tongue out, shaking every part of us, making noise, whatever, just letting it physically out. And it really helped me release in a different way. Oh, you could say that's
I love that because like everything is vibrations,
Yes. I love that you said that. Everything is vibrations.
Yep. So you start off with like vibrating your body.
Yes, Corey, I'm glad you know this.
Yes.
Sorry, now I'm yelling, but sorry, I'm yelling.
That's okay. We're just getting a little excited here on Manders Mindset. That's all good. Should this episode be called Corey's Mindset? Kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm fucking dead. What other questions you got for me, my dear?
All right, so you're on this retreat. How many of there were you?
10 women.
10 women.
Including me.
did you like have any issues or clash? That's a lot of different personalities, I'm sure, because it was women from all over the place, right? People that you don't really know. Any issues, any clashing of personalities? I know, like, get 10 women in a room and there could be some fighting. So a lot of cattiness going on.
Not at all.
That's awesome.
Boy. The wellness retreat. We were all there for wellness,
to be better
vibes.
Yes.
Yes, to be better women. And now we all were from different parts of the world. We were all different ages. And they all were like so worried about me throughout different things I would do and things I would say. But
I am sure they were.
Why? Why?
You like.
Why are you so convinced that they would be worried about me? Why are you not surprised?
I'm not surprised at all.
What does that mean? Why you're not surprised? What does that mean?
Amanda, you booked a trip and left the country in 10 days. I'm not surprised that they were worried about you. That's a little spontaneous extreme. That's not just spontaneity. That's like extreme. You know what I mean? And from what you told me on like the travel and stuff like that.
Yeah, we had some experiences.
They won't forget you. We'll just leave it at that.
There wasn't any clashing. We all got along really well. Some people had their own room. I shared a room with a woman named Tiffany. She loved her to death. And it was kind of cool to see everybody's personalities like intertwined, and everybody was so different. And what was really awesome too, though, everything that we did as a group, like you were required to do it. If there was somewhere you didn't want to go, there was an excursion, an activity we were doing, you didn't have to go. Different workshops that were hosted, I went to everything. But if there was something you didn't want to go to, or you wanted to do something else with your time while you were there was a spa with so many different services at the resort. So, like, you always had the option to not do whatever it was. So there were different things that we didn't have the whole group with us, which fine too. But I was there for most of the things. But it also, I think that was good because you didn't have anybody have that animosity about like, oh, I don't want to be here. So like we didn't run into that. And
good.
It was also nice too because we had so many of us. Anytime we would get either a Gojek or a Grab, which was like their version of Uber, we would have two different cars. So, for example, even when we go wherever, if there's a on a head back, they'll send one car back and then one car to a step. Even small little things like that, I think, prevented any like hostility.
That makes a huge difference because, like you said, there's no animosity of like, oh, I don't want to be doing this, and like you're forcing me to be here, and like this is supposed to be a retreat, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
no, exactly.
I want to backpedal real quick because I'm not surprised that the other women were worried about you, but I am just a little curious of what the fuck they were worried about that you were doing.
They never wanted me to really be without the group. So even the first day I decided I was going to the gym, I didn't tell any of the women on the retreat. I just sneakily, they're going to be way too worried.
Even in the middle, before the sun comes up, and there goes Amanda sneaking out of the resort.
Because I'm like, they're going to be worried. And then if I get like their worry in my head, I got to go.
Yeah. And then you worry and it just snowballs from there.
Exactly. So I was like, once I'm there, it's fine. And it was because I was there for quite a little bit. So the first morning thing, the first day, even the host had called me twice. I'm like, I'm at the gym. Like it was the ultimate test of self-trust for myself. And I made it. She was so happy.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. I know the reason why I say I'm not surprised, you're very...
I'm mainly worried about me getting lost.
Yeah.
I'm very headstrong.
Well, you just do shit. So? Like, no fucking cares in the world. You're just like going for it. You know what I mean? With pretty much like, a lot of things from what I know about you, you just fucking go. You just go, and you just do shit. You know what I mean? So.
And like spontaneous shit, or like, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, that's good. So there were no issues, no animosity, nothing like that. Sounds like it was an all around fabulous retreat.
It was. Yeah, no, we all got either worried about me getting lost or me like running off somewhere.
Well, see, that's what I mean, though. You just like do stuff.
Nights we were together, and we didn't even have the whole group there yet. But one of the first nights was loud music, and there were different stations you could get drinks at. And no, not even now. I had one of the best chai lattes of my life. It was like 10:30 at night, but whatever. They had kombucha and like shops and all these different things. So I did have hay on my hand for the first time ever, and it was pretty cool. I didn't get the best experience because I didn't really know how to do it. And I've done hape before, but never off of my hand. But it was cool. There was this conga line going, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to get in this conga line. So quick, I find my way, my little self over there, of course. And I'm squeezing my way in. Okay, well, how long I was in this conga line for, but I think I was in it for a little bit because now, of course, my phones don't have service. So if you lose me out and about, if we're not at the retreat, you don't know where I am. I can't contact you. I'll let you know. Like,
right, exactly.
Not so well. So that didn't help. But most of the other women had some type of connection. I did not.
Okay.
There were like two or three other women who didn't, but majority of them did. Yeah. So they're like, this woman gets lost all the time. She's crazy and goes off wherever. We turn around, she's not there. Like, that's what happened with the conga line. I don't know how long I was inside conga line, but they didn't find me for a while. And I saw this after the fact, but the guy behind me at one point, after quite a few minutes, like, he got off my arms, and I'm like, keep up. And now I yelled it back to this guy. My friend and the host, Meg, got that on recording. And I'm like, listen, we're doing this. Yeah. Come on now, buddy. It was so funny because when I went back and I found the three women I was there with, they were like, oh my God, we were so worried about you because now I took my shoes off to get in this conga line too. So they like, we found your shoes over here. And we were like, where did she go? Oh my God. And I'm like, listen, you knew I was still here. My shoes are here. I'm good.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, listen, I'm good. I'm great. It's Gucci. But yeah, I would run off somewhere. You'd turn around and where's Amanda somewhere. But
I can do that.
I utilize when I need to keep track of something, I can do that well when I need to. Yeah. So I utilized that skill to my benefit. When we went out as a group, we went out shopping around the town. And I purposely was like, okay, I know we're going everywhere basically while we're out shopping.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
I need to keep a hold and kind of a track of some of the women at least some group of the women, because even the host was like, we're not staying as a group. Do what you want. Go where you want. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. Now there's certain women, I'm not going to name names, but there's certain women I just kind of know will pay less attention. And I need to go with a group of certain ones of these that are going to basically make sure Manders stays with the group and is keeping track of everybody. So I go with the group I go with. I was with Meg's mom. No, she was definitely the motherly figure of the group. Oh, yeah. Love her. Barb. But so it was me, Barb, Britt, and Melissa. And now I was like, Britt and Heather, they make sure I'm good. And so will Barb. And Barb was also a little worried because her phone didn't have connection. I'm like, listen, we're staying with the group. And it was funny because probably an hour after we had been walking around, whatever, and now we leave a place and I'm like counting heads. And so it that's me, for somebody who gets lost so frequently, you do a really good job at keeping track of people. And I was like, listen, I know my weaknesses, so I need to my strength in this area to make up for my weakness.
You identified the weakness and you counteracted with your strengths.
I've removed the friction.
I only have one last question, kind of like an open-ended-ish question. So is there anything that stood out to you? One specific thing that stood out to you the most about this retreat? Could be good, could be bad, could be, an experience that you really enjoyed. Could be, that guy was really hot. It could fucking be anything. Just something that stood out more so than anything else.
So when you say something that stood out more than anything else, I don't necessarily think of my best experience or even the most transformative one. I think of something that I literally got goosebumps over my whole body because I was like, what the fuck? And I literally said that to the woman sitting next to me. Now, I lost a lot of stuff throughout my experience in Eton. I lost the passport at one point. I lost different jewelry. I lost a lot of physical things. And now, as I mentioned earlier, I went on a walk every single morning. And it was usually pretty dope when I was going on said walk. But I thought I'm fine because I'm at the resort. No big thing. And now I would always have my phone with me. I'd have the room key with me. And I'd usually have my AirPods with me. They weren't always in my ears. Sometimes they were. Now, it's got like a key ring on it. Now, sometimes I play with that and I twirl it. Yeah, don't do that. Fun fact.
Not a fidget spinner.
Thank you, Corey. I had one AirPod and then I had one AirPod in the case. And I was carrying the case, had the phone in my pocket, walking around. I do my walk at 2 different points. I sit down by the water. I was meditating at one point. I was journaling at one point. Fast forward, I end up going back to the room because I'm going to get ready for the first morning ceremony that we had with the chanting and the shaking and the meditating, etc. So go back to the room. I'm like, oh shit, where are my AirPods? Okay. Now I had a drawstring bag with me. They weren't in them. Why would I put them in the bag? That would be smart. Okay. Looking everywhere, can't find them. Okay. I have Find My on my iPhone and my AirPods are connected to it. I'm like, I'm going to find them. It's no big thing. I use that. Now I'm walking around this was away, not finding them. I'm playing the sound. I don't know where these things are. I'm looking everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, at this resort, they had the best staff I've ever interacted with in my life. Phenomenal. Like, they even have a dedicated happiness crew, like, to ensure happiness of their guests. Could not recommend that place enough. Now, I'm like, okay, I just got to ask different people, like, working here, tell them a lot. Most areas in Bali, so many of them didn't speak English or didn't speak it well or didn't understand it well. However, at Soulshine Bali, majority of them had phenomenal English. Okay, they understood it. They all were like, Miss Amanda, like they knew me. Okay. He asked, he at first thought I meant my phone and I meant headphones. I explained like by pointing the ears. Okay. And he understood what I meant. Nope. Find a different woman. I tell her, well, all those one. No, she brings it to me. It's not mine. It is an AirPod case with AirPods, but it's not mine. Okay. I'm telling them those sparkly AirPods. Okay. And now, then we did a breathwork session. Everybody says to me, Amanda, your AirPods are gone. I was like, listen, I'm going to go to breakfast. I'm going to see him when I'm sitting there. I don't know how, but I'm going to randomly see him. I'm envisioning this and they're going to be there. It made no sense to me. And even the photographer, Issa, was like, I really hope it's going to be true. Just watch. I didn't know if it was going to be true, but I'm like, oh my God. I'm like really hoping at this rate, like fucking, okay. Now I'm sitting at breakfast and I say to a different man, like, cause they come over to me, they all know it's lost and I'm looking for it. Guy comes over to me that works there. And I was like, they're sparkly. And I was like, and I'm pointing to my ears and he looks at me. I'm sitting next to a friend who was also on the retreat with me. She's my friend now. I didn't know her prior. Really. And honestly, if she wasn't there with me, I don't know if I would have even realized, but still fucking blown away at this. The guy looks at me and he says to me, bling, bling. And I'm like, bling, bling? Does bling, bling me? And so now I don't say anything because like I'm literally not understanding what he means by bling, bling. I look at this woman, Lee, and I don't say anything. I just look at her like with a look, my interesting facial. And she looks back at me and she goes, AKA Spokely. I got goosebumps. And I was like, yes, bling, 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 bling. I have the bling, bling. And I'm like, I am bling, bling. And the guy just looks at me very like I'm fucking insane. And he goes, only one bling, bling. And now Bailey looks at me like nuts. And I understood what he meant because my dumbass had one ear, even though I was listening to nothing, twirling these AirPods around. And I was like, it's okay. I have the other one. And I show this guy my other AirPod. And he goes, ah. And I'm like, yes. And I was like so fucking ecstatic. And he's like, my friend has it. I'm like, okay. Fast forward, not even 5 minutes later, she comes over and she handed, and I'm like, oh my, and I was fucking ecstatic. I was like, can I give you a hug? And I literally gave her a hug. I was like, thank you so much. You just made my trip.
That's awesome.
Fully understood the power of words because I was like, yo, I said to 5 people, I am missing my sparkly AirPods, and none of them understood what sparkly meant. Then one guy said, hey, bling, bling. None of them sparkly. And it's literally, if I didn't understand from Bali, like, what?
Bling,
mind blown at that. Mind blown. She's like, I'm going to call you that. I'm like, please do. Please do. I would gladly.
What's up, bling, bling?
Any day.
That is so funny. I'm bling, bling.
Any day. Because when she said AKA Spokely, I was like, oh my, give me the hat. Give me the bling, bling.
The bling. Right. Give me the bling, bling. Yeah, exactly. I'll take it all. Whatever you got back there, give it to me.
But when she said AKA, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's a matter of your fucking thoughts and the fucking words, yo. Like,
yep. It's crazy what you can do. Yeah. It's crazy what you can do and what you accomplish, like, you know, the power of words and stuff like that. And like, you don't realize it until you're fucking forced into that situation. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy how, like, you're in another country. No one knows what the fuck you're talking about. Sparkly AirPods. Sparkle. First of all, what's an AirPod? Second of all, what's sparkly mean? And somehow, some way, you got them back.
New headphones when I was like, headphones.
I'm never playing charade with you because you're a fucking professional at this point.
I am very good. I would so win at charades. We should play charades.
At charades. We should. I'll get up there and I'll be Amanda traveling to Indonesia. Have to act that.
How are you going to act that out?
I don't even know. I'll be like this. That's me. With
just get a point of things. That's how you're going to act it out.
No, like I grabbed my phone. I was like, see, that's me. I'm a singer.
Listen, they were not taking this from me.
No, God, no. That's your life right there. The end of that stick.
So, I guess I'm going to get into that story. Microphone with me to Bali because naturally, I thought I was going to have all this free time in the world to, podcast. I did not have all this free time in the world to podcast. But microphone, I brought my laptop, brought all the things. But brought my fucking mic. Now it separates into 2 parts. Got the mic and we've got this thing. And now I also wasn't going to put this in a checked bag because if my luggage gets lost, I want to make sure I still have this. There's a few certain things that, you're taking in the care. God forbid shit hits the fan, you got to have it. And this is one of them. Now, I wasn't thinking I couldn't have a microphone. Why can't you put the microphone fucking on the plane? Well, you can, but with it being separated, it stood out.
Yeah.
It definitely stood out. Now, of course, when you have this arm separated, black stick, basically. And of course, I got stopped in security, all the security. 1 security on the way there and then 2 securities on the way back because this looks like, what is this? You bring. They're like hitting it against their hand. I'm like, oh shit, they're not going to let me take this. Oh my God. Okay. Now I also had my sound healing Tibetan bowl with me. Pretty thick. It's not huge. This is what we're looking at.
Okay.
What are you laughing at?
So you have your microphone
that I had.
And you have this bowl. They probably thought your microphone was a bomb.
Why would the microphone be a bomb?
It kind of looks like one, and it's electronic, and they don't know what it is.
That's fair. And then I have this Tibetan bowl that's pretty thick, and it's like I don't even know what it's made of, maybe brass, but like it's thick, it's heavy duty. So of course they take that out, and they're looking at both of them. Now I'm in Tokyo, so I don't really understand a lot of English. Great. So they're looking at this thing. You got one guy like banging this against his hand. I'm like, oh my God. So then I'm like, I'm a yogi podcaster. Where the hell that came from? I don't fucking know.
A what?
A yogi podcaster. Because like the sound for like yoga, meditation. I'm like, they're not going to understand if I say like I use this for breath work. So they look at me like I'm insane. And one of them says to me, sing? And I'm like, this is the only chance I'm going to get them to let me take this. And I'm like, yes, I'm a singer. I sing. And so I grab the mic and I start just, yeah. And I'm singing. I am singing in my microphone. And this man is just looking at me. And I'm just like, because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm waiting for it going through my head. He takes the other. Now I only had the front half of the mics, the fucking mic, standing in security, like singing. Yeah, he takes the other half of the mic, sticks it in my carry-on, and pushes the carry-on towards me. And I like bowed my head, and I'm like, thank you so much. Okay, I take my mic. I'm on my way. Different time in the fucking security airport. I ran into that again. They didn't question the ball this time. Okay, great. But now I'm prepared to sing. Now I am prepared to tell them I'm a singer, and I will sing if I have to. So, and I'm like, it's a microphone. And they're like, microphone? And I'm like, I'm a singer. I sing. And now there's one guy and a different guy looking at him. One of the guys says to him, USA. And the other guy goes, ah. And I was like, yeah, USA. And then I start singing, Party in the USA. And I'm like, and I'm singing. Now, when I am just going off, and I lyrics to this very well because I even formed to this back in fucking sounds very fun fact. But so I'm fucking bulging out, Party in the USA in the middle of the Japan airport.
That's awesome.
One of them is laughing, and one of them is just staring at me. I just keep singing until one of them puts his hand up, and then I stop because I'm like, oh fuck. And I put the mic down, and he pushes the bag towards me. And I was like, thank you so much. Suksuma. And I was on my way.
Suksuma. I pray somebody videotape this, you singing in the airport. And it ends up on the internet sometime. Because that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I know. It's gonna pop up on my TikTok one day. Crazy white American. I'll look it up every day until I come across that video. Because I'm sure somebody videotaped you singing to these international airport security people.
I was literally thinking to myself right after, yo, if I fucking had camera on the wall, just going viral at my crazy ass self.
You'd go super viral.
Yeah.
Singing Party in the USA in Japan.
He said USA, and I'm like, okay, okay.
He's like, USA, fucking Americans, am I right?
That's honestly probably what was going through their head and what they were referring to. But it like struck my mind to be like, oh. And I had in my, they know singing. They think of mic related to singing. But it worked out. They didn't take my mic. They didn't take my ball. I was in security a long time, all the time, but I made it through.
And you made it back, like you said, mic in hand, everything all back in one piece. more importantly, you're back in one piece. You didn't get abducted. You didn't get lost forever. Your debit card got eaten, but you didn't. So we're all good there.
But I didn't get eaten. We did see monkeys. They didn't eat people, though. They weren't big. They weren't like gorillas.
They were cute monkeys.
Yeah, they were cute. They were super cute. They were cute. They were little.
Yeah. Because that was like a whole thing, right? It was you walked through and there was just like monkeys that could come up to you and like sit on you, like sit on your shoulders and shit like that.
We weren't supposed to have food or drink or have anything in your hand because there was sign. And one of the women I was with, she had bug spray in the Ziploc bag and the monkey took it.
Oh, fuck.
King Leo got it back from the monkey. Like they literally had staff walking around like taking things from these monkeys because the monkeys would take them. And it's like, if you have food, the monkey's going to take it and eat it. And you're literally just going to be watching this monkey eat your food.
Yeah. And the monkey's going to laugh at you because they're little assholes.
Basically. Yeah. Yeah. But they were so cute. I was a little nervous getting close because like, you never know. And just randomly they're jumping on people. And I'm like, God.
Yeah. And have you ever heard of any of those stories of like chimpanzees ripping people's faces off and shit like that? Like monkeys are wild.
But even like a little one, like if it's like a little guy.
I mean, they might bite you. They're fucking wild animals.
That's probably why they were like, Amanda, stop putting your face next to the monkey. I'm like, I'm getting a selfie. Everybody kept saying that to me.
I'm monkey.
This is why they had
bite your face off.
It's
all coming to.
This is why they had some worries because then you got me.
It's all coming to fruition now. Why they were worried about you this entire trip. They said no with the monkey.
The monkeys were so cute. They were so.
I bet.
I did get selfies with the monkey, and then me and who was on the retreat as well. We each sat next to this monkey, and we had somebody take our picture. And I looked scared fucking shitless. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna fucking jump on me, and I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Yeah. He didn't jump on me. That would have been cool if he did, but he didn't.
And you didn't die.
And I didn't die.
No.
Okay.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you keep saying and you didn't die. Corey.
Well, it's always you could die tomorrow. It's always a possibility. It's just more of a possibility going across the world.
It's not true that it's more of a possibility.
Sure it is.
So you got any more questions for me or what?
No more questions for right now, but it does sound like you do have more that you want to share. So I think that this will be part 1 of a multi-part series of Amanda's Adventures in Bali. What'd you say?
For right now.
For right now. So this will be part 1 of a multi-part series called Amanda's Adventures in Bali.
Oh, you're titling the episode now too. Okay.
I'm taking over the whole podcast, girl. What are you talking about?
For fuck's sake. Okay. Okay. So
again, if you're only listening,
how do you wrap up Corey's mindset? If it's not
Corey's mindset,
you're taking over. How do we wrap up?
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode of Corey's Mindset. As always, stay fresh, stay salty, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey guys, if you're listening to me right now, I hope you enjoyed this unique version of Corey and Manders Mindset coming at you with both of it from a different lens. Hope you enjoyed it. But I did just want to throw out there once more my extended gratitude for the people who really came through for me, those 5 individuals who made this life-changing experience of spending 2 weeks in Bali with some magical women and getting to learn more about myself and embrace myself as a woman and my desires. It was everything I could have asked for and then some. So Meg Escobar, Meg Mercer, Brad Minus, Brett Lockett, and Rachel Veritimos, I have an extra special place in my heart for all 5 of you, because I can honestly say I don't believe I would have experienced Bali if it wasn't for any of you. So whenever you're listening to this and whenever you hear this, just know I love you very much, and I am a whole new woman, and a big part of that is because of you. Well, if you guys are still listening to me, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned, because according to Corey, we're giving you a part 2. It will likely be shorter than this one, but stay tuned for part 2 of Amanda's Bali adventures. Thanks, guys.